After an impressive debut in Jacksonville, the Steelers are back in the Burgh for their only home game of the 2025 preseason tonight against the Bucs. Nick Herbig is expected to get the start tonight for the first time. We'll have all the latest updates on who else you can expect to see in action. And we'll sit down with the newly signed TJ Watt to get his thoughts on being a one-helmet player. That's all coming up on BetMGM Steelers Kickoff. And welcome to Acrisure Stadium, where tonight's game will kick off in just about 30 minutes between the Steelers and Buccaneers. Fans are making their way into the stadium just like the players did a few hours ago. Here's TJ Watt keeping it casual, but his game is anything but. See the chain, TJ.
Looking good, AJ.
And here is Aaron Rodgers walking in with Arthur Smith. Definitely some chemistry we want to see ahead of the season. These player arrivals are presented by Hyundai. The Gateway Sales event is happening at your local Hyundai dealer. What's up? I'm AJ Ross, joined by the one and only Ramon Foster, back in the FedEx Great Hall for the BetMGM Steelers Kickoff show. Ramon, you certainly have had a great career, and now you're back in the building here at Acrisure. How awesome is it to be back home and with these fans?
It's good, man. I've enjoyed it. I spent some time on the field today. It was cool seeing some old friends, some old teammates, even some on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers staff that I played with. So this is always home for me. I had most of my adult life here, so it's good to come back to the place where it started at professionally.
Well, you didn't pick a boring game last week in Jacksonville. The Steelers look like a well-oiled machine, especially on the offensive side of the ball. If you looked at some of the numbers broken down further in that game, their third down conversions, 8 of 13, a really impressive number. The passing game was clicking on all cylinders with Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson going for more than 300 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. Further breaking the numbers down against the Jags, they had 13 more pass attempts than runs. Probably because if it wasn't broke, don't fix it. Were you surprised that they threw the ball that much out the gate, Ramon?
AJ, absolutely. You don't throw the ball in preseason. You just want to get your beak wet a little bit, essentially, is what you do in these moments. Let the big guys up front set the tone and see those guys pass what they did last weekend, man. Mason Rudolph, as you said, and Skylar Thompson got hot. He took advantage of Will Howard not being in there this past weekend.
Well, no doubt the fans enjoyed that performance last week, as did the guys in the booth who called the game, Bob Pompeani and Charlie Batch. Hey, guys, do you think we'll see a repeat tonight?
Well, we hope so. It's better than 6-3, AJ. Preseason games, we've done a few of those. We like 31-25. And last week, certainly, Mason Rudolph set the tone. If you look at his numbers, you had to be impressed. He was 7 for his first 7. On the night, 9 of 10 for 84 yards and a touchdown. And boy, Charlie just looks very comfortable. He's been around a long time now, and I think he's comfortable in his own skin.
He really is, and he had the opportunity to spend a lot of time learning this offense. And you can see right now he's playing a lot more calmer, and he's patient in delivering the football where it needs to go. And he's excited as far as where he is at this particular step in learning this offense. So it's exciting to see.
It really was. And what's even more exciting is to see depth at quarterback. Skylar Thompson was the guy who got in there after that, and he may not have gotten in there that soon if not for the injury to Will Howard, who still is nursing that finger injury. But Skylar Thompson took advantage of his opportunity, and boy, he was good. 3 touchdown passes. He stayed in there, took hits to make plays, and man, he was impressive.
And when you talk about taking advantage of opportunities, here's a guy who took that next step. He was able to go in 20 of 28, 3 touchdowns, and you can see just the excitement as he was leading the team into the end zone.
Yeah, and look at that. Trey Sermon didn't need even one helping hand there to get in. And then this one here by Keyshawn Williams, a beautiful play by Skylar Thompson. All right, let's talk about the running game because it wasn't as effective. 25 carries, 66 yards. Kenneth Gainwell got a little bit of playing time last week. I would expect a little bit more, and I would expect the production to be up for him and Caleb Johnson.
Yeah, he's looking to take that next step for that third running back position. We know he is more of a third down threat. He has 102 catches on his career, so this is a guy who knows how to get it done. Played a lot in Philadelphia, was key to that Philadelphia run as they won the Super Bowl. Now he's looking to do it here, and he has that huge opportunity here at Acrisure today.
And you know the Steelers were impressed with him last year. They saw him, and he was really good against them. Maybe that had a lot to do with him being here in Pittsburgh. One guy that I'm so happy was involved in the red zone, we hope to see more of it, is Darnell Washington. Boy, was he good in the middle of the field. And when he's a big guy, when you have 6'7" down the middle of the field running the way he does, nobody wants to get in his way, Charlie.
They don't, and he is a big body. He can move, and that's one thing he has to continue to take advantage of because of the space that he's provided. We know how good of a run blocker he is. He wants to take that next step in the passing game, and he's off to a good start.
He really is, and so is this offense. Steelers hope to double down on that in front of the home crowd coming up later tonight. We look forward to the kickoff. Right now, let's send it back to AJ and Ramon.
Thank you so much, Bob and Charlie. You know, Ramon, they talked about some of the starters we're going to see tonight, but it's also important that we highlight some of the young guys in our next segment, which is the Pella Window of Opportunity segment. Tonight, we are taking a look at Y.A. Black. Yes, his name is pronounced Y.A. He could end up being a steal out of the 5th round, and this is a really big presence on the defensive side of the ball. 6'5", 336 pounds. I asked you what you played at.
325, yes. This is a big young man right here. From the day one I saw him in his scouting his last year and at the Senior Bowl, you know who he reminded me of, AJ? Cam Hayward. I think he's a bigger Cam Hayward, and he's so big he doesn't even know what to do with his body just yet. So I can't wait to watch him mature, and as you said a second ago, turn into a better product than a 5th-round pick right there. I believe that for him.
I'm excited to see, as our Steelers fans, and we want to get you involved tonight. We want to know what Steelers jersey you may be wearing as you watch the game. Post your comments or pictures using the hashtag SteelersNation, and we may include it in our broadcast tonight. And as you can see on our People's Natural Gas countdown to kickoff clock, we are just about 20 minutes away from the first home game action of the 2025 season. People's Natural Gas, an essential utilities company. When we come back, Missy Matthews sits down with the newly signed outside linebacker, TJ Watt. Steelers Kickoff is presented in part by Schley Deck Company. We keep things simple, affordable, reliable. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Well, it was a busy offseason for the Steelers with some new roster moves, some additions, and a big new contract for outside linebacker TJ Watt. Our Missy Matthews had a chance to catch up with Watt on the new deal and more.
TJ, how did you spend the off-season trying to stay busy, waiting for your deal to come to fruition?
Changing diapers. Honestly, spending as much time as I could with Danny and Blakely. It really wasn't that difficult, honestly, to put football in the back for the first half of the offseason, just focus on my family.
How were you able to then start the process of getting ready, not knowing what was going to happen, and then not that you could ignore it, seeing all the crazy moves and different things that were happening in terms of adding to this roster?
I mean, I'm constantly training, so I'm never worried about how I'm going to perform once I'm able to play with the team and get back in the swing of things. So that wasn't an issue. I think more than anything, it was just not paying attention to everything everybody was writing about and tweeting about. Just because 90% of the time it's completely false anyways. That's one of the biggest things I've learned throughout this process. But just trusting that a deal was going to get done and just being overjoyed when a deal did get done.
Is it weird, or are you used to looking around when you guys are out here on the fields and seeing so many new faces and guys who have done a lot of stuff in the league?
Yeah, I mean, every year that goes by, it seems like we have so much turnover. It's not like, you know, my first couple years when you have your rookie class still intact. But we do have big name guys out there, but more than anything, the big name guys that we do have, just getting to know them, DK, Jalen, Darius Slay, Aaron, they all want to win, and football is important to them. And it's more about the process than just playing in games, and it's been really fun getting to know them.
How is that helping you with Aaron on that side of the ball in terms of what this defense is doing to get better?
It's huge. From snap count things to pre-snap communications to holding your disguises to the no-look passes. It's a challenge each and every day, and I think it's the ultimate iron sharpens iron concept.
Thanks, Missy and TJ. You know, TJ is already a legend, and it's not even really a matter up for debate. He's not calling it a career anytime soon. He's the all-time franchise leader in all-time sacks and forced fumbles. Not many people around the league post a resume like his. Ramon, I know you've seen your fair share of pass rushers. during your time, but what makes TJ so special?
One, his pedigree that he's already born with, man, and just also his drive. TJ wants to be great. TJ came in this league with a whole bunch of pressure. He has an older brother that was also Defensive Player of the Year also, and JJ. Yes. So he came in not running on his coattail or anything, and I'm just proud of the guy that he's becoming. He's just simply gotten better and better. His bend and ability is, you just see, to strip the ball away from the quarterbacks. It's not necessarily the big hits with TJ. It's his ability to always understand where the ball is and get it back to the offense. He's always been that type of guy.
No doubt we'll probably see TJ's name in the Hall of Honor one day. And actually, here at Acrisure Stadium, there was a special event with a special guest in the Hall of Honor today. Ben Roethlisberger was on hand to help the team unveil an exhibit that honors the 20th anniversary of their Super Bowl season in 2005. This brand new edition pays homage to key moments from that magical year and, of course, Super Bowl 40 itself. Here's what Big Ben had to say at today's press conference.
To get one for the thumb, it's been there was such a long drought between Super Bowls, and for this city, and obviously I was young, only my second year here, so there were a lot of veteran guys that had been trying so long to kind of break through and get that, and so to be able to do that really, for me, meant a lot for this city, for this organization, for the Rooney family. That's kind of what made it extra special. I mean, obviously, Jerome in Detroit made it even more, but that's what made it extra special, is that I think the drought between the last one and this one.
A special time indeed. Now, Ramon, you played 4 years after that Super Bowl. I should say your career began 4 years after, but you got to play with a lot of those guys, including Big Ben. What do you remember from that Super Bowl and playing with that group?
One, as Ben just said, watching Jerome be in his hometown win that Super Bowl, those guys were rock stars to me. Like, it was one of the coolest things ever to watch that group right there and then come be a teammate of those guys. You just wanted to make sure that you were inside of that boat with them as they were rowing in the right direction. And again, awesome group, great human beings, and you can always say this too, winners. Absolutely loved it.
Well, as you talk about big moments, Immaculate Reception was one, and we now have a segment called the Immaculate Prediction, which is one of my faves, I have to say. You were cool last week. This is a segment that fans can play along through the Steelers mobile app to win prizes like Caleb Johnson autographed football. Tonight's question, will the Steelers throw for more than 300.5 yards?
AJ, I'm going no.
They're not going to do it.
Not 2 weeks in a row is what I'm telling you. I'm going under. And we see the big boys move the line of scrimmage today.
Well, I want to see what fans have to say and if they are right or you are right. But fans can also gear up with game day necessities at the official Steelers Pro Shop located at Acrisure Stadium. Get the latest sideline gear, jerseys, terrible towels, memorabilia, exclusive merchandise, and custom items direct from the team in-store or online at shop.steelers.com. And if you check out the People's Natural Gas Countdown Clock, People's Natural Gas and Essential Utilities Company, game time is drawing ever closer. And when we come back, we're focusing on the offensive line, specifically second-year tackle Troy Baltani.
This fall,
BetMGM Steelers Kickoff is presented by McClellan's Contracting and Roofing. If our name goes on it, we stand behind it, so you can stand in it. Outside linebacker Nick Herbig did not play last week in Jacksonville, but he is playing tonight in front of the home crowd. And tonight, Missy Matthews had the chance to speak with him just moments ago.
Nick, what does it mean to get to suit up tonight after being a spectator last week in Jacksonville?
Oh, it feels like Christmas. Put the black and gold back on, can't ask for a better feeling in the world.
Some of the younger guys in this draft class for this year, what's it going to be like playing with them, and what have you seen from them so far?
Yeah, I think there's a ton of talent. I'm excited for these guys to get out here, run around, put the people on notice. That's what they're here to do, and I think they're going to ball out.
Jack Sawyer, TJ Watt told us the nickname 5-Star. What are we going to see from 5-Star tonight?
I expect a strip sack tonight. Now, not putting too much pressure on him, but I know he can do it. He's done it his whole career. That's why Coach drafted him, so we're excited for him.
All right, Nick, thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Missy. Now, Ramon, Nick would probably be a starter on any other team in the NFL. What kind of a luxury is it for the Steelers to have a guy like that, adding depth to that position group?
It's big because teams are always looking for depth right here. When you have a guy like him that's developed himself, that has changed his body and his mindset, and the other part is, too, playing at a style that the guys in front of him are. He's got two of the best mentors he could ever ask for when you look at T.J. Watt and also Alex Highsmith, and not just that, the history of that outside linebacker position. position. While being here in Pittsburgh, we've always looked at that position as one of those ones where it always took care of the team. And Nick Herbig is doing the exact same part for this current squad that he's on right now. I can't wait to see him go to work, because being that young with a day off last week, he's got to show, because if not, TJ and I'm sure Al is going to make sure he knows about it.
And Herbig's been a menace in the preseason, too, with like 8 sacks in the preseason the last few years. So that's an impressive stat, as is you played about 175 games on the O-line. So you know talent when you see it. I want to know your thoughts on right tackle Troy Fautanu.
Love him. I just want you to understand that. Like, he presents himself like a Steeler. He moves like one of the best offensive linemen that you've seen him, even as a young guy right now. He has the demeanor for it. He's got the hips for it. His ability to stay healthy is the only thing that ever stopped him. And he had an injury last year and found himself back right now. I saw him in the hotel last week and just had to shake his hand and talk to him, because he can be one of those guys that understands the importance of what it means to be a Steeler. He plays with tenacity. And when you see him in the position that he plays, he's got good hips. He bends his knees really well, and he also understands the smarts, the ins and outs of the game too. Playing big-time ball the way he did in college, and to bring that here to Pittsburgh and want to play right tackle, I think that says a lot about the young man that he could be in today's NFL, where the right tackle position is just as serious as the left tackle position is now.
What do you want to see from the rest of the O-line tonight?
Just a dominance when it comes down to the line of scrimmage. Those guys being able, as Coach Tomlin like to say, gain a blade of grass or protect your grass that's in front of you. I think it's crucial for that young group, and I mentioned young group because I don't think Isaac Seumalo's playing tonight. So watching them build depth with the guys that are moving in those positions next to them, but also be able to protect your quarterbacks and move the ground game the way they want to. It's no better feeling, AJ, than being able to impose your will on the team on the other side of the ball. And that's one of those historic things that Pittsburgh's always done too. So the quicker they can grow up as a unit, and specifically the young tackles, I mean, the sky's the ceiling for those guys, because I do know this, they have the talent and the pedigree for it too. They did a real good job of finding the types of guys that Pittsburgh want to have be their dudes for the future.
So I can say there's no better feeling for Steelers fans watching the Steelers imposing their will. And we asked you, the fans, earlier, which jerseys are you wearing tonight? Brenton says Derek Harmon, and Brock says DK Metcalf. They got that new. And then Mustache Rudolph is wearing surprise Mason Rudolph. I love it. And the stash, questionable, but cool. People's Natural Gas is our sponsor for the countdown to kickoff. People's Natural Gas, an essential utilities company. When we come back, you'll hear from head coach Mike Tomlin as we count down the minutes to kickoff. Summer's almost. Download the Steelers mobile app for access to the team from wherever you follow, with real-time scoring updates, live audio, trivia, and breaking news alerts. The mobile app is the ultimate place for Steelers fans to stay connected. Find the app in the Apple or Google Play Store. Welcome back to the BetMGM Steelers Kickoff Show. Ramon and I have been holding it down here in the FedEx Great Hall, and Missy Matthews has been all over the place. She was just outside the Steelers locker room moments ago and caught up with Coach Mike T.
Coach, before we talk about tonight, take me back to the joint practice and what you liked or didn't like.
You know, it's not much about it that I didn't like, to be quite honest with you. The Bucs got a really good, deep roster, good 90. It created a really competitive environment, no matter what levels you're talking about. We got good work in all 3 phases. It was a really good, productive day.
In terms of tonight, are any of the injured guys going to make it in the 11th hour?
You know, I'm still hopeful, but I don't have the final on some of the guys right now. Some of the guys, it boils down to how they warm up in pregame and things of that nature. Rest assured, anyone that's healthy enough to go and ready to go, we want to give them an opportunity to show what they're capable of, because there's some scarcity in this process.
Last week you said for Roman Wilson, focus on offense is the plan to add in some special teams tonight.
It is. We're going to allow him to return a kicker too as well. He's had a good process, but we want to be thoughtful about how we engage him in the in-stadium action. And so today a big step for him managing both.
Lastly, in terms of Nick Herbig, he didn't play last week, but you said tonight he might see some action. What do you need to see from him?
I just want to give him an opportunity to sharpen his sword. He's had a lot of success in preseason football. I think I heard he's got like 8 preseason sacks, and so I know he can handle August ball, and so I'm less urgent about seeing it from him, but I do want him to be ready for the season. And so if he gets some tonight, it'll be early in the process. He'll be in some situational moments. It's important that I give guys like Jack Sawyer more opportunity to grow and show what they're capable of.
All right, Coach, thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back to you.
Thanks so much, Missy. That interview was presented by PNC Bank, the official bank of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Ramon, we saw Darnell Washington flash last week. He's a name we've heard over and over again. What else would you like to see from him tonight?
Just more of what we saw last week on that first drive, being able to catch the ball. To me, I've been labeling him as Weapon X. I mean, the ability to block the way he does at the size that he has, the more and more he can add to his repertoire as far as catching the ball down the field, the scarier it gets for opposing defenses. So I'm hoping that he gets incorporated into this game plan early and often, AJ.
Do you think Skylar Thompson can run it back?
Listen, he had a massive week. I don't think anybody in the NFL expected him to do what he did last week. So, yeah, I do want to see again. In the pros, can you do it again? So I got my eyes on him tonight also.
Let's talk about defense real quick. What should they make a statement with tonight?
Being able to stop the run and hold the line, I think is always going to be good. Seeing if those young linebackers can continue to make plays for you, and who also is going to step up in the secondary when you have some veteran guys on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm super excited to see what they are. Who's going to back up Jalen Ramsey, Joey Porter Jr.? You know, those guys are the ones you know are going to be there. So I'm expecting to see one or two of those younger guys step up, or a veteran that's trying to find his way onto this roster, AJ.
Can the defense maybe set the tone early?
They can, because what you know is this, is a Todd Bowles team is going to be very prepared. So you know you got to bring your hard hat each and every time when you play against a team that has an established coach the way he is. When you talk about assisting the quarterbacks, right, or the young running game, some guys need a lot of reps. As much as you can get turnovers and as much as you can be in a position to bring the ball back to the offense, it's necessary. Again, offenses are very, very cool to watch, but defenses win championships. So I'm really hoping that this young group understands that. Even in the preseason, it's still wins and losses at the end of it. So you always want to build a culture of winning games on either side of the ball and at the end when the clock's hit zero.
Absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have on the BetMGM Steelers Kickoff Show. When we return, the guys who will be calling the game, Bob Pompeani and Charlie Batch, will be with you.